I've got a crochet kit for us today, the first of its kind on this channel actually. I bought it when I was doing one of my shopping trips at Michael's. It's this one. It's by the Michael's brand, Loops and Threads. It's of a duck, and ducks are my absolute most favorite animal. So when I saw it, actually, okay, wait, there was a dog and I think it was poodle inspired. It didn't look great, so I did not pick that up, but I picked up this one instead. It's a chenille crochet kit, which is actually very much in line with some of my most recent videos where I was working with chenille yarn. So this will be the second time I'm working with chenille yarn. So it's $9.99 USD, and for Canadians it is $11.99, which maybe explains why it's half in French. Limited time only, it says. 14 plus for the age range. Skill level advanced. So if I'm not able to complete this, my confidence level may take a hit. Not that I think I'm advanced, I just think I'm advanced enough to do this. We'll let the jury decide. You are the jury. It looks like it gives you these in bobbins, which I'm not terribly excited about. 100% polyester fiber fill, which is the stuffing, 2 plastic crochet hooks. So they are upfront with the fact that they're plastic crochet hooks. A plastic needle, instructions sheet included, skill level advanced, estimated time to complete project 8 hours. 8 hours? Jesus! Oh man, I might be here for a while. All right, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this in one sitting if that's in fact true, because I might need to go to the bathroom or do something else besides sit here for 8 hours. All right, and we've got, since apparently I'll be here for 8 hours, we've got our sea salt caramel iced coffee, which we're going to dig into now. How's your day going? Would you like to partake in some sea salt caramel coffee with me by 85 degrees? All right, we're going. Uh-oh, it's taped. Are you a open from the bottom person or open from the top person? Maybe I should open it from the bottom because there are 2 tapes on here. Okay, ooh. My scissors went a little rogue there for a second. All right, we're in and we're seeing the bright yellow ducks. Here's my fiber fill as promised. Here is, the rest of it all just came out into one. I was not expecting that. Okay, more packaging. The last one that I used, the chenille, if you watched it. Oh, actually, this is not a bobbin. This is an actual skein. That is a nice surprise because I was expecting like a bobbin wound thing. Similarly with this, that actually makes me kind of hopeful for this project. I do find it odd that everything was in here except for this. That's fine. Probably came from 2 different places. And then this is the second skein of yellow yarn. Here is the black for the eyes. The 2 plastic crochet hooks. Excuse my beauty vlogger moment for a second while I put my hand behind these so you can see it. There are no written markings on here, so I don't actually know how big these are just by looking at it. Interesting detail on the bottom. And the instructions that come in 2, oh no, this one is the French one. Put that aside. Okay. Oh God, okay. Before you begin, read all instructions before beginning project. Sure.
Finish that video, include Chenille.
Okay, and then for the sizes of the crochet hooks, it just says small and large. I was hoping that it would tell me the sizes. It did not. Additional supplies needed, basic sewing supplies. All right, I want you to get a lay of the land, so I'm gonna spin you around for a second so you can see what I'm looking at. Here is more of the full picture of what we're looking at. The 2 yellow skeins, this orange brown one, the fiber fill, the 2 crochet hooks, and the black yarn to do the details with. You know what? I don't actually know why my eyes fell out of my head when it said 8 hours. I don't know how long I expected. I'm also very slow at stuff, so maybe it will take 8 hours. It might take longer. You can see the instructions kit here, and it is a very long folded sheet of paper with a diagram. All right, back around. Following the instructions and reading the instructions in full before starting. It's actually kind of interesting. They give some tips before you start. It tells you specifically if you use an alternate hook, which we do not recommend. Please note that using a larger hook will result in errors in tension and yarn quantities required to complete this project. For an advanced, I would have thought you already knew that, but I guess they have to disclose it. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't make assumptions. These seem like disclaimers that people who crochet should know already, but I should not assume things. They do give gauges for the chenille yarn and the polyester yarn, which I feel like will be the closest that you can get to what a hook size. Actually, don't I have a measurer. I'm gonna get it. This is one that I got from Korea and then I lost it and then my husband got me a new one and then I found it. So I have 2 sheep ones, but it's fine. Who can have too many sheep needle gauges? And then I feel so dumb because I was like, I bought it because it was cute. And I was like, who would use this? Wouldn't you know your own needle sizes? Well, and then I just found a use for it. So in my face. How do I use this? I might need to Google this, BRB. Okay, so it was what I thought. You put the crochet hook into a hole until it fits snugly. And for this purple one, fits into this one, 9. And then, and then millimeters, it's 5.5. Something is wrong with my methodology. This is a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Okay, so look, this goes in here like this, but this one does not. But it goes in smoothly like this. I need to get on with the actual, if this helps you, help me identify the sizes so we all can know. And then also the other thing is that these do not look the same. The one where mine is labeled 5.5, it looks bigger. Do you agree? See, I feel like the blue one is definitely bigger. Also the fact that I was trying to put in here, it's bigger than this one. I don't know. Someone else used that information to help me understand what sizes these are and just solve that mystery. So I think maybe this one is actually a 375 because I was able to put it in it. I'm trying to put this in here. This one fit here. And then this one being, can't get it into this one. All right, sorry, derailed. Also, story of my life, where I'm constantly doing side projects while trying to do the actual project. All right, let's go with the actual kit. Off to a great start so far. I'm gonna read this and get back to you in 2 minutes. Oh wait, pause. Something caught my eye that I'd like to mention. Tips for working with chenille yarn. This project is not recommended for beginners. Maybe that's why it says advanced, because it has chenille yarn in here. Do not rip out parentheses frog the yarn. There are instructions. Okay, I'm just gonna go through this with you. There are instructions. It gives abbreviations. It gives how to do actual yarn stitches here. We have made every effort to ensure that the provided instructions are accurate and complete. We cannot, however, be responsible for human error or variations in individual workmanship. I feel like we got personal for a second. Okay, continue. There are 7 steps total, and then the last step being the assembly and finishing. I'm not gonna try to find a center pole because I don't think I'll find it in here. I'm gonna have to bite the bullet and work from the outside. We are also going against recommendation of doing the single crochets with this yarn just to get the feel for it. We're skipping it, we're going straight in. So right after I was warned that if you pull it, the fibers will fall off, I tried to pull this part of the magic ring to tighten it, and then I just ripped it off. You're supposed to pull it! Okay. 1, 2, 3. Also, I think this tells you to yarn over and not yarn under. Yes. Amigurumi, usually I yarn under. This specifically tells you to yarn over, so I'm gonna follow those instructions to yarn over. You know, I'm kind of surprised. This does not, well, I used the skinny chenille before in my other projects when I used the loops and thread chenille yarn. So maybe this is the regular chenille. Look at the yarn, it's like really, it's not round. Isn't it supposed to be round? Is it supposed to be round? It's really flat. 1, what number? Oh my God, I literally just counted this. It's twisty. Okay, maybe that's not a bad thing. Uh-oh, wait. To be clear, it did say chain 1 and then do a single crochet. I've never done that before. I usually just single crochet into the magic ring. That's weird. Can I modify it already? I already want to like change the instructions. I don't want it this chain. I feel like this chain is confusing me and making me think it's an actual single crochet. It's been 20 minutes and I've gotten this. I have a problem. That's why I turn the camera back on. I've gotten this far in 20 minutes. I'm kind of embarrassed about it. I did have to frog it so many times. Clearly not advanced. This was too advanced for me, clearly. I thought back in time and it said do not rip out or frog the yarn, it will shed. I can deny that. I've had to rip this out multiple times, so you can rip it out. But I've also made sure to keep my tension kind of loose. First impressions, my hand cramp is real. The very first thing I noticed was that this is really light, and I never thought about crochet hooks having weight to them. This is really light, and it's an adjustment. I think it's contributing to my hand cramp. I want to stop right now and show you what the stitch definition looks like. I'm in row 5 and I already have a problem and I think I know how to fix it. I just want to walk it through with you first to tell me what you would do. So here is where I'm at currently. You can see the stitches. This color is good. Plus, you know, if you look at where the shadows hit, you can see the stitches. Where I was having trouble when I was trying to recount and I ended up just ripping it out. I think sometimes it's easier to rip out and start over than try to count for something this small. I was having a hard time like seeing here where the increases are. So I spent 20 minutes doing this. I've probably remade this about 4 times now. And then I probably spent another couple of minutes trying to figure out what to do with this step. So you end round 4 at 24 stitches, which I'm totally fine with. And then the instructions for the next row where you end with 30 stitches is a single crochet in the next 2 stitches, increase, and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches. That covers 5 stitches. To do that 6 times, that's 30, but then I only have 24 stitches to work with. So I'm confused. I'm gonna call an audible and do a single crochet and then an increase and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then I think that will make the math end up to 30 stitches. What would you do? All right, I'm gonna do that and then go all the way through round 22 and then hopefully come back still in one piece. I'm pulling the last stitch through and it says leaving a 10-inch tail for sewing, and I measured exactly 10 inches using my mat back here. After I did round 5 the way I described, it was fine. And then honestly, rounds 6 through 22 went by a lot faster than rounds 1 through 5. So it's been an hour and 20 minutes since I started. That also included me taking the dogs out. So the second 2/3 of this went by way faster. I have ADD, and if I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, if I have to do like a single crochet and then an increase and then a single crochet, I have to really be paying attention to what I'm doing. Otherwise I'm gonna forget. My mind is gonna wander. I'm gonna think about something else, and then I'm gonna forget if I just did an increase or how many single crochets I just did. And then looking back and trying to look at the stitch, which I know is a valuable skill that every crocheter and knitter should be able to have, to be able to look back at your previous work and know what you just did. It's easier to just rip it out and start over. So that is why I had to frog so many times. This is how much yarn I have left, by the way, in that one skein after making the body. And hidden in here, or it got stuck in here, was the embroidery needle. I forgot that that should have been included, so I found it. Good thing I didn't think it was lost before I found it. So it's here. You know, the one thing I was worried about though with row 5, I was worried that this would be lopsided or something because it needs to look like this. It needs to specifically be flat. So if the increases are in the wrong place, I feel like I would have been screwed, but it was only 1 row. So I don't know, was that an error on their part? Am I just an idiot? Are both true? Okay, so the next things I have to make are the wings and then the head, the crest, beak, and then the 2 feet. I'm gonna do all that and then come back when it comes to assembly time. As promised, I am back before step 7. You can tell that it's darker in this room. So how much time has elapsed? Good news, 8 hours has not passed. It has been 5 hours, 107, 623. So maybe a little over 5 hours. That is including having a couple of meals and taking care of other stuff around the house. So here's where I am. Here are all the pieces separated. We have the head, speaking of a big old head, this guy here. We have duck's head with the crest. On the duck's head, we have the mouth here. I've stuffed the head already. And then we have the body, which I will not stuff, 2 wings and feet. All in all, I think it was a good experience using it. I got used to the hooks being lighter than I'm normally used to. I'm really annoyed though that they didn't give us the size of these hooks because you can't substitute it with your own hooks that you're more comfortable with unless you actually know how to use the gauge measuring tool. But I was stuck using these just because of that disclaimer here that says we can't guarantee the product if you don't use our hooks. So about the yarn itself, I didn't have much. I did have some fallout for as much of the frogging that I did, which was a lot because frogging is part of my process. This yarn against the plastic hooks, sometimes I make it squeak. If you are somebody who has like that cringe, like when you cringe on certain sounds, that might get you. It's not huge. It's not every single time, but it is sometimes. Sometimes it like squeaks. This yarn is made of polyester, but it feels like it's made of straw. It is very scratchy. I don't know how this compares to the rest of their yarn like this. Otherwise, I think we're fine. So the next thing to do is step 7, which has a lot of mini steps in it. Use photo as a guide, more like a drawing. Use photo as a guide for assembly as needed. Okay, so a number of things left to do here, and I will check back in when that is in. Night has officially descended upon us, as you can tell with the very unflattering overhead lighting and also the amount of grease on my face. Is that what I look like right now? Has my face just been getting progressively oilier throughout this video and no one's told me? Okay, great. Sorry if that was really gross. I feel like my fellow heavy oil production people out there will be able to relate. Okay, anyway, enough about my face. We have a duck, or as the French say, a canard. I actually knew a guy named Canard and he told me that's how you say duck in French. Okay. So we have the duck and step 7. I knew step 7 was going to take a minute. I wasn't too excited when I reached step 7 and I finished step 6 because I was like, I know I still have more of the mountain to descend. I was over the hump, but I know the sewing part takes a while for me. The majority of, well, okay, hang on. I'll let you look at it. And I'm also going to insert footage from tomorrow. So it's in more flattering light here and the feet. The majority of the time on step 7 was truly the eye, not the majority of the time. Most of the time of step 7. Oh, let's do a time check. 7:50. Okay, so continuing the good news from earlier, it has still not been 8 hours yet, front to back, even doing stuff around the house and trying to live my normal life and also do this. So step 7 being the finishing pieces. I was having trouble with her eyes. For the eyes, it says find center front of the capital H head and stitch eyes over round 7 and 8, having 5 stitches in between. I felt like that was a little low, but I counted on the box here on the picture. It is not that. The eyes are higher. Okay, and then another thing that I changed was that the beak, okay, a thing that was a little bit weird. It said to stuff the beak and then sew in place between rounds 9 through 12. The beak was so shallow that I couldn't stuff it and then sew it. I had to sew it a little bit and then stuff it, which is my normal process for sewing things on that are very shallow like this. So I'm a little bit surprised it said to stuff it and then sew it, but maybe that's just me. I could not get it to span 3 rows though, so I made the executive decision. I took away a row to get the beak to be more duck-like instead of more like flatter and taller. I wanted it to be projected more, even if that sacrificed height. Fine with that. There are kind of holes throughout where, say, my increases are. I don't love how some of these have big holes in them. What do you do here? Like, here's another good example under her chin here. Like, I think in the final product, it still looks a little bit not kempt. Was it me? I think these are during the increase. No, some of them was not during an increase, but I don't know. Do you guys usually sew it? I tried to do that a little bit with my leftover tails that I was using to sew, but I don't think I did all of them. I mean, I definitely didn't do all of them. But does it look more handmade with the inconsistencies? But I think everything else was good. I think that with the instructions, some of these just say like sew and like put the arms on the body and then sew it. That's basically what it says, or put the feet on the body and then sew it. I think you need a certain level of comfort to just make those decisions and just like attach things on where you best see fit. But here is the final product, all done within a day, half a day. What do you all think? Oh, I'm a little sad that there's no tail, but I guess that it couldn't be because it's flat. Otherwise, I think that it looks really cute and I'm happy with the product. Minus a little bit the eyes. I couldn't get the eyes to be right. I'm a little unhappy about the eyes and I feel like things are uneven, but you know what? You always know what the worst part of your own project is. No one else is gonna notice, right? All right, so because this light is so awful, I'm gonna wrap up. Overall thoughts, I think this project is lovely. I think that there have to be some liberties taken with the animals. So for example, again, that dog, I didn't love it. I ended up choosing the duck, which I don't regret at all. I disagree with the assessment that this is for an advanced person. I think an intermediate person could do this. The things you have to watch out for are certainly the fact that the chenille yarn, it is harder to kind of see and count the stitches. This brown yarn is a little bit rough. Oh, let's talk about what I have left over too. This is how much polyfill I have left over. I actually have a decent amount of yellow yarn left, and I have this much of the brown orange yarn. And then I have this much left. They gave a generous amount. This was just supposed to be for the eyes. So they gave a lot. I have these left over and the embroidery needle. I think that this is a very lovely project. I would recommend it. Definitely choose whichever one you want. Oh, her name is Daphne, by the way. Daphne the duck. For the cost, I don't know. It is $9.99, which I think that is actually a good price for everything that you get. I'm still pretty annoyed at the crochet hooks that are provided, but maybe they needed to do this in order to keep the cost low. The trade-off being I'm never gonna use these again, and I just hate the idea of waste. So if anyone can tell me what I can do with plastic hooks, please give me some ideas. They are very pretty. I don't think they're that practical. And with the hooks that I do have, I would not use these. I don't know why they didn't just tell us what size these are. Unless these are non-standard sizes, which may be the case. I don't know. Michaels always has sales. I always say this in every video for things that I get from Michaels or Joanne, RIP. I never buy anything from those places at full price. They're always gonna have a sale, always look for a coupon. A 40% coupon is really good. A 20% coupon is okay if you want it really soon, but I recommend that you kind of hunt down a 40% coupon. But it does also say limited time only, so kind of balance those. Also, another thing is that the instructions were actually pretty good, minus that one where I had the question about, I think I was right. I think there is an error in here. So yeah, I will leave my video review there. This is my first kit that I've reviewed. Let me know what you think, and please like and subscribe. Let me know if you thought that this is a good representation for what is on the box, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!